All right, people, so let's talk about this. So, I heard about this before Christmas, and I knew there were going to be, people talking about it because it's boxing news. But I also wanted to see what else came out of this. One of the things that I see that's consistent is when people are guilty, but you don't want them to be guilty, people just go, shh, let's act like it never happened. What am I talking about? So, Jake Paul, in the words of Anthony Joshua, he wanted the fight, but he wanted a fight where he wouldn't get hurt. In other words, a scripted fight. Who didn't know this though? And AJ has some irritation coming from different areas, which I got a video on, so I'm not going to talk about that now. I told y'all Jake Paul's a fraud. You see, here's the thing. AJ, listen, man, let's make the fight happen. Didn't I say this? Didn't I say this the next day? Yo, but let's go through the motions. Let's make it look, but like don't. So, AJ obviously didn't give him the answer he wanted, which is exactly why he had no confidence to stand there and try to fight, try to box. And when I say stand there, no, I don't mean just stand there and swing. I mean, he basically did nothing but run, throw punches of desperation just to try to bring separation between the two and then run some more. And people that say things like, I don't even care if the fight is fixed as long as it's entertaining. I told you guys, this is the era that we're in. Now the truth is, Jake Paul has always been a fraudulent clown. But people are supposed to go along with the script. So what if he's a fraud? So what if he's a clown? He's good for the sport because he generates money. You silly gooses don't learn. Let's use your logic with your wife, your woman, whatever. Your woman can go out and you guys know I have to be raw with what I say because there's a lot of people that's not too sharp out there. So you have to let people say things where people can actually visualize and go, damn, I wouldn't like that. So you and your wife are together and there's a guy who's offering her money to have sex with her. And every time they have sex, he gives her a nice lump sum of money. You guys are like extremely comfortable. Imagine you going, baby, where you getting this money from? Well, you know that dude Simon down the street? Yeah, I go over and let him clap these cheeks and suck them off and everything, and then he pays me. It's nothing to it. I don't love him. I don't, none of that. I love you. I'm here with you. I know how it sounds, but it's not all bad because it's good for our bank account. He helps us financially. You okay with that? What you gonna tell him? Hey man, lick his balls too. He'll probably give you extra. Grow up. Wake up. Stop being wusses. Here's some reality for you. Every time I hear Eddie Hearn, De La Hoya, Bob Arum, anybody say someone's good for the sport, it's always because of some controversy, some type of conspiracy theories, just some negative, ignorant behavior, something that boxing doesn't need. He's a clown. Him getting his jaw broke was great. And then having to lose 7 teeth and have to get implants. Great. Because you want to know something? People need to stop playing with boxing. This is why me and so many other people don't even care for boxing the way we used to as a sport. Yeah, I still put the work in, as y'all can see. I still keep in shape and still do all the things that I've always done. But in terms of the sport of boxing itself, as long as somebody's a cash cow, it doesn't matter how they get the cash. Your daughter could be a hoe. She could be a prostitute. She could be out here being pimped. Okay, whatever it may be. You got drug dealers in your family, whatever. You don't care just as long as they're making money, right? But that's different. Well, it's still dirty business. Listen, y'all. This dude is a clown. And hopefully what this will do is let people understand, damn, everybody's not on the table. Everybody's not going to hold back. Here's what I say. AJ was trying to get to this guy, but he was running. Didn't want to fight. And I still know AJ wasn't putting everything on them shots. But even the shot that knocked him out, if you seen AJ really throw hard punches, you know that punch he hit Jake Paul with was a solid one. It was a strong one. But he didn't put everything on that. And that's why Jake Paul got up talking about, yeah, that shit was broke here and here. Yeah, good. One punch broke his jaw in 2 different places and made him lose 7 teeth. Good. Real boxers have to go with this kind of shit all the time. Fighters who don't make big money have to go through this kind of stuff all the time. A lot of fighters in their careers broke because they didn't have drawing power. They didn't have a big name. But we're supposed to care about this influencer. When we tell you he's nothing more than a Disney star, nothing more than an actor, a stuntman, a fake fighter. Y'all want to, but you got to give him credit. Right? But then when he get his ass whooped, oh, but he's not a fighter. Yeah. Right. We already understand the game. His loss to Tommy Fury, you want to know why he never wanted a rematch with Tommy Fury? Because Tommy Fury's not going to go along with the script, and it's possible he'll lose to Tommy Fury again. And all of you say Tommy Fury suck as a fighter, he's not a good fighter, but yet he beat Jake Paul. And you guys are trying to shove crap down the throats of the people subscribe to your channels by trying to make them look at Jake Paul like he's really a good guy. All of those plants that he have sitting out there, press conferences, want to praise him and talk about his charity work and all this goofy stuff, and y'all want to focus on all of that. Again, hey man, you and your wife don't have nowhere to go. One of your homies say, hey man, say less. You and your wife. Get your clothes, get your things, come stay with me. Y'all ain't got to pay no rent, nothing. Just get on your feet, and you know what I mean? I just want to see y'all, have everything going your way. Man, I really appreciate you, man. I ain't got nowhere else to go. I really, really appreciate you, right? So let's say you and your wife is in there, but y'all make sure y'all clean up y'all mess, y'all keep the house clean, y'all respecting the rules, all that type of stuff. And all of a sudden, the guy just decides he want to clap them cheeks of your wife. Because without me, y'all got nowhere to go. So, hey, once again, it might sound bad, but it's because of me. Y'all in here. In fact, if you say no, I'm kicking y'all homeless asses back out in the street. You can't say, but that's different. No, it's all the same. I'm going to use what works to my advantage against you, because without me, you're homeless. This dude comes in here. Oh, he contributes to women boxing. You see, Alicia Baumgartner has been talking a lot of, think Jake Paul. I mean, goddamn, I even before the fight, she hasn't had one interview that I've seen where she don't bring up Jake Paul and thank you, Jake Paul, thank you, Jake. Yeah, okay, but from bell to bell, Jake Paul ain't worth a damn. She picked him to beat AJ. She spoke about AJ before. She said Anthony Joshua was basic, nothing special about him. We saw the video where AJ just completely overlooked all of that. Was talking to her, Derek James, and she's sitting there giving him the googly eyes, staring his body up and down and all. Yeah, right? And everybody's now making memes of it and making, yeah, see how she would, right? But I'm just saying, here's someone that's really supposed to be a boxer, and you really think that she really thought Jake Paul was going to beat AJ? Did she really think he was that trash? Because let's be real, Jake Paul is trash. He believes in himself, and you're going to sit here, every one of these women that sit there, they all sit there and try to pretend Jake Paul is that guy because of what he contributes to women's boxing. Y'all look like y'all on the stroll out there for this dude, man. Thank you, Jake Paul. Thank you, Jake Paul. And notice, nobody's thanking him as much as Alicia. So you know that she's his pet project. Let's try to put her in that position. Let me tell y'all something. If you sat there and like Derek Chisora and whoever the hell that was with him said, Jake Paul must know he's either crazy or he knows something we don't know. I told y'all from the very beginning, if this is a real fight, AJ shouldn't even struggle with this guy. That wasn't a real fight in the sense of him running and not trying to fight back. He just tried to survive. But in terms of his skill, you think Jake Paul developed and something happened so great for him. So all these, he sparred Jared Anderson and this guy and that guy. So what? And that's why I said, well, what was their sparring sessions like? Did he spar with them the way he fought AJ? Is that what they train him to do? Just run for your life? How the fuck does a real fighter even think Jake Paul had a chance? How? This is how screwed up society is now. Because you don't know the difference between real fighters and these fake fighters. Bro got his Misfits boxing. He's doing a lot with the women. He owns his own company and all that. Greed is what got his fucking jaw broke. See, Jake is not going to fight anybody that's a real threat that won't go along with the script. That's the whole thing. We all know Tommy Fury's not a good fighter. That's why he went along with that. And in fact, he didn't even have confidence that he could beat Hassan Rahman Jr. because he wanted to drain him. Oh man, but he had to make weight. He was supposed to honor the contract, right? And he was so scared. And Hassan Rahman Jr. is not even good. And if that's the case, he should have fought Kenzie Morrison, who won the fight between the two of them. No, he fights Hassan Rahman Jr. So that shows you. Like, I can see through this guy. I already knew Jake Paul is nothing but a guy, a stunt man that's putting himself in the right position. See, like I said before, Dana White's not going to have him come in the UFC, talk shit about the UFC, tell him I'm better than half the fighters on your roster, and go in there and have a bunch of fake fights for him. Nah, Dana White's not going to do that. So basically, no, you go to the UFC. They could give you the sorriest person in the weight class that Jake will be in, and they still beat Jake. And this is why, when you look at sports, if you look at anything in life, people have no integrity. Everything is just basically get whatever you can, however you can. You guys ever see these stupid prank videos? Well, I know a lot of it is scripted. I'm not interested in those things. I just study things to see what's real. And I notice I see the same females popping up in them. Yeah, okay. But let's look at the comments. Yo, she's a keeper. Yo, she's a good, clean, wholesome girl. Wait. So a chick is coming down the escalator with her man. A dude reaches over, touches her face. Dad, you might be my type, baby. She starts smiling and blushing. He comes down, and the guy stands up there like, what are you doing? Debating. And his woman sitting there taking roses, get a guy a hug, compliments, blushing, smiling, and you stand there. This is your woman, but you're standing looking like a hoe. Do you understand what I'm saying? What's good, clean, and wholesome about that? I swear to you, I might have told y'all this story a long time ago. I remember one day we were in the park, man, and we saw this chick. Man, she smelled so good. Whenever she came by, it just smelled like strawberries and a fresh, like when somebody fresh out the shower. It just smelled clean and whatever the hell, the body spray or whatever, oil, whatever. She smelled so good. But her man basically caught her ass with another guy. And I swear to you, he's like, so this what you doing? I'm out here working. You ain't even got to work. I take care of you. And this is what you out here do. And you out here fucking this. And she said to him, I swear, I did not fuck him. All I did was suck his. And I'm like, oh, that makes it better. Yeah, that's acceptable. This is where we are. So I don't care how far back in time we go. You see traces. You see the lead up to everything becoming more of a popular thing. Like, haven't you guys noticed by now the things that you don't like, the things that you don't want to see, that's what it winds up turning into? And then people make excuses for it. Listen, this clown Jake Paul wanted a scripted fight. He got his jaw broken. I'm so glad. Because there's people who try to do things the so-called right way, the legit way, and they don't get the same fortune. Then they go home, they fall on their knees, they're praying, talking to nobody. They think they're talking to some higher power or whatever the hell, and they do all of this, and they go through life suffering. They go through life stressed out. How come I can't, get this? Why can't I get what that person got? Why, right? And they're trying to do it the right way. But if some record producer is bending you over, and then you got the nerve to go make songs telling how you would shoot this, you ain't hurting nothing, you little sissy ass motherfuckers, man. Like, this is the world we live in. So no, we don't accept what Jake Paul does. We don't like what he do, and like I said, whatever his contributions to the sport, well, hell, man, that's the least he can do. Let's look at how he got to where he is. And y'all talking about hard work and dedication by him. Look at who he fought. Who did Jake Paul fight that he should have been in the top 15? Who did Jake Paul fight that he should have been in there fighting Anthony Joshua? Who? So he got paid very well to go in there and run and get the one thing he didn't want to happen. And that's get knocked out, get his jaw broke. And part of me wished the ref didn't stop it, so AJ could have punished him some more. I do not like how fake people, anything they do, if it works for them, just do it. I used to see these grown-ass men, the place I used to live at, and these motherfuckers used to pull up these big-ass trucks at the truck stops. Girls I went to school with. We teenagers, man. 13, 14, 15. You see these young girls hopping in these trucks with these grown men. You know what they were doing. They come home, mom, dad pull up there after jumping rope, double dutch, and playing around, playing Jackson, and the parents, oh, my little sweet angel. Like, nah, she ain't exactly an angel, but and you really don't know what your daughter out here doing, right? With these grown ass men. Do you understand? Is it okay? Because they was paying them for it? Human trafficking, doing this shit with kids on top of that. And do you understand what I'm saying? So I've always seen the worst of people make things happen for themselves in a positive way financially. But what they're doing to get that money is not positive at all. Why should we support a fraud? Like I said, he did what he was allowed to do. And I'm pretty sure Jake Paul sat down with somebody, whether it was Eddie Hearn, whoever, and said, listen, what I'm doing, I know people want to see me lose, but that's going to make them watch. And I'm generating numbers for people, man, and I'm going to give back to the sport. I want to help the sport elevate financially. I want to be able to, I'm pretty sure he said things like that, and some of them just, okay. And then they saw, like, damn, his vision is working. I don't know, and I don't care who you like as fighters, who you don't like. I don't debate with people. I may give you my point of view on something, and that's as far as it goes. I'm not with the back and forth. It's opinions. Opinions are always subjective, y'all, not objective. Learn the difference. I can care less. I'm not here to glaze these grown men and women. I'm not sitting up here calling nobody no goats and making all these weird noises and grabbing my head. No. I don't do that, but that's what this generation produces, old and young. I will tell you guys, for Jake Paul, for anybody, all you fake fighters out there, when you are jumping in front of these cameras trying to go viral, disrespecting the sport of boxing, and I'll be real with you, it's like this kid Dean the Great. Like I said, I was watching him, not looking for him. They used to have this series called Street Beefs. These dudes used to be out there boxing outside, wherever, somebody's backyard or whatever, wherever the hell they were. And, it stemmed from that. Because then they had different versions of like street beef, street boxing. And then he had his version of it. He was out here doing what he was doing. Little silly dances and shit in his intro and all kind of crazy shit. And I remember him, I said, he got a little something. Like he got a little skill. I'm not talking about pro level, but for these guys he was fighting out there in the street, I'm like, he don't have power though. You catch a guy right, you get him out of there. So him walking up trying to beef with Shakur Stevenson, what the hell has he done to deserve a fight with Shakur? So what ends up happening is really simple, y'all. Even if the fight don't happen, and it shouldn't, every time Shakur videos pop up, at some point, this video with me gonna pop up too. People that don't know me gonna say, who is that guy? And they don't care whether you want them to lose or want them to win. They just want you to know them, follow them. You understand what I'm saying? Truth of the matter is this, y'all. Jake Paul got what he deserved. And any other fake fucking fighter out here jumping up, talking trash about real fighters and trying to act like they're something more than what they are. They don't deserve the fight, but you should give them a sparring lesson. Beat the brakes off of them. Let them understand what it's like to be a real fighter. Because until that happens, there'll be somebody else trying to, play tough, trying to, clout chase and making a mockery of the sport of boxing. So yeah, I told you guys this guy was a fake fraud. He tried to get AJ to go on the script. Like AJ told him, hey man, that's not happening. This is boxing, man. Hey, man, we're not doing that. And that's why that guy came out and became a track star from round one. He had no confidence, like Alicia Baumgartner says he had confidence in himself. He believes in himself. No, he believed he could run and keep running and run some more. That's what he believed. And hoping he didn't get tired and gas out, which is exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. He's no real fighter. He didn't show no tremendous heart. He showed he's a fraudulent clown that can't fight. He got his ass knocked out. Okay, got stopped, and AJ didn't put everything on them punches. AJ wanted to, I'm gonna hurt him, but I'm not gonna damage him. That's the way I saw it. And now that the cat is out the bag, notice how, let's not talk about it. Inoue, the monster, good fighter, always respected his skills. But notice how Inoue gets knocked down. Nobody makes a big deal about it. Oh, it's boxing, man. You get knocked down and get back up. True. But how come y'all don't say the same things for Devin Haney or Anthony Joshua or anybody else that gets knocked down that you actually don't care about? And you see what happened with Inoue? The last fight he just had, he was trying to put tape on his hands under the wraps. That gives it that plaster type feeling. He was trying, and you see the guy saying, no, he knows that. He understands. You can't do that. You can't do that, right? And y'all don't think that matters. I'll tell you what. For you guys that don't know how to fight, for you guys that think you know how to fight, throw a punch with your hand not all the way closed and see if you don't break your hand. Throw a punch with your fist clenched, but not really tight. Now, tighten it more and see if your fist don't feel that much harder. Now, the same thing when you wrap, right? You put the gauze first, not tape, then gauze, then tape. They then get, he's trying to layer that shit to make it, like I said, like a plaster type effect. And you know what happens when the gloves start to get wet and your hands start sweating? That shit gets hard. So at the end of the day, he had to rewrap his hands. I'm sure he didn't do it on purpose. He didn't know what he was doing. See, this is you guys. This is exactly what I'm saying about excuses that people make. If that would have been Devin Haney or Terrence Crawford, if that would have been Shakur Stevenson, Tank Davis, that would have been anybody else. Oh, they're a bunch of cheaters, blah, blah, blah. How long you been boxing? You don't know how to wrap your hands. Yeah, got caught. So I don't care how much you like Inoue as a fighter. I think Inoue is a really good fighter. But at the same time, at the end of the day, that's my point about how certain people get, let's not talk about it. And others, ooh, look at what he did. I got a lot more to say because I got some other videos I got coming for y'all. I'm going to end this one here. The fraud Jake Paul wanted a scripted fight. That's what he wanted. Tank Davis abandoned the Lamont Roach fight after making us think he was going to take the fight. And I told you, ain't no guarantee. Until I see that the fight's on, it's just talk. But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Tank Davis versus Jake Paul. And I feel like I said, things that Tank Davis said on that stage, which I pointed out in the past, he basically wasn't going along with the script. Jake don't want to fight no real fighters, man. And all that talk about him going to cruiserweight, him wanting to fight Canelo. Are you serious? Because he's going to get destroyed by Canelo. He's going to get hurt. And if he think because he's physically bigger than Canelo or whatever, he's tripping. He's tripping. You think he really want that smoke with Canelo? Is Canelo going to go on with the script? Because if he don't, that fight's not happening. He said he wants to go to cruiserweight. Do you think he wants to fight Jao Patai? Do you think he wants to fight anybody with a name that's not going to go along with the script? No. So I don't care what weight class he fights at. If you're going to keep fighting these journeyman MMA guys or these journeyman old washed up boxers, what does that do for the sport of boxing? And if you're running to climb around your TV with the intentions of thinking you're going to see a great fight whenever Jake Paul name comes up against any competitor. You're foolish. The guy is a bum. Yes, a hype job. That's what he is. He's a fraudulent clown. AJ gave him what he deserved. But I just wish the ref didn't stop it. He could have broke the other side of his jaw too. I'm sick of seeing fraudulent people go through life and use people, use a system. But the good people, the honest people, the down to earth, work hard every day to take care of your family type people, yeah, somehow they're not special. Now, when it gets to the point where people get sick of Alicia Baumgartner, or him, or both of them, don't be shocked if they start rumors that he's clapping them cheeks too. Don't be shocked about anything. This is the world we live in, and people use AI video for most of the wrong reasons. People lie about stories, and basically I dug into Anthony Joshua's comments, and so yeah, I wanted to make sure it was legit, and turns out that there was. Jake wanted a fake fight. Next video, I'm going to tell you where his frustrations came from and why, which he should have made it known that Jake wanted a fight where he wouldn't get hurt. He wanted a fixed fight. He worded it that way. Instead of just saying a fixed fight, he wanted a fight where he wouldn't get hurt. Yeah. AJ, hold back on me, man. Don't put no real mustard on them shots. Make me look good. Hey, man, we could make a lot more money. I want to work with you in the future, man. I can help you get, this and that. Yeah, all that kind of shit. But, like I said, people saying AJ should have knocked him out in the first round. I agree, if it was a real fight. You can't knock a motherfucker out that's just running and not trying to fight. He's a lot smaller and he's quicker with his movements, but he has no skill. And all that, he has incredible heart. Maybe compared to you bitches in this generation. But Jake Paul is trash. He's broken. He may never be the same again. He may go in that ring scared to get hurt, scared to get punched again. What if, man, I went through all these implants and yeah, it's going to take some real soul searching for him. And all he's going to do is jump back in there. Let's find the right opponent that I can buy and to try to look good. Where even if it's not the biggest name in the world, people want to say Jake Paul still got heart. He learned from the Anthony Joshua fight. Blah blah blah. All this kind of nonsense, and he's gonna want to try to get right back to who he is. He's only 28, 29 years old. So yeah, believe me. Stop playing with these little misfits fighters and hurt them badly. Punish them. Make them earn their keep. They don't respect the sport of boxing. They don't respect the people that came before them to make boxing what it had become. They don't respect any of that. All they care about is how much money can we make with this fraudulent shit. That's all I got for you guys now. Catch you guys on the next video.